Collective, welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Trauma and Healing, where we're going to just look at that value of what it means to experience trauma, move towards healing through the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. It's been a little bit, there's been a lot going on. And as I was kind of preparing for this reading today, I was really hearing this value of people, situations who are justifying bad behavior, trying to make light of choices that were made, trying to almost like, and in the way to put onus, to put responsibility on you for what was suffered, for what was experienced. And right now in the astrology, Mercury is tensely aspected. It's tensely aspected to Pluto. It doesn't really want to or move through change. It doesn't really want to understand change. I feel like this is where that value of backlash is coming into play for people, for situations, because we're given this strong platform to grow, to heal, to evolve. Even if you don't feel like, I'm not talking about being fully healed. I personally believe healing is a lifelong journey. I think when you experience trauma, it calls for a deeper commitment to healing, or else we carry it. I mean, you carry it around regardless, right? But the idea is to help unearth some of that trauma that gets rooted so deeply within our being so that we can enjoy life, so we can experience happiness and fulfillment and abundance, and not just be living in the darkness, in the pain, in the sadness, and the grief. That's why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles, limitations we might be coming into. It's a great time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really good way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your personal situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're more interested in a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Like I was saying, like when we can unearth, when we can uproot some of those deeper places of grief, trauma, injury, disease, that is where we're better able to like manifest that value of happiness and abundance in our life. And I would really love to just help support that, whatever that is for you. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, so this value of like justifying bad behavior, really it kind of transcends into that energy of gaslighting, right? Like trying to make you think that what they did, what happened, is not necessarily true, or it's not as bad as how it affected you, or what you're, even if you're like, I don't know that you're standing up for yourself this week. I feel like there's a part of you that is only allowed so much power, or that's how it feels. Yeah, okay, so vacation is in the overarching energy, taking a break. And here's the thing, I feel like this was in our reading last week or 2 weeks ago, but this value of like, we can't just keep pushing on ourselves, right? Like, we have to give ourselves space. Maharishi Ayurveda is really into that value of the balance of activity and rest, making sure that we're just not go, push, do, and then you fall, you know. And that's the same with any type, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, healing, you know, whatever category, or all the categories, because all those aspects of our physiology, mind, body, soul, is intertwined. And I feel like there's hope. Like, to me, it looks like you're coming in with a little bit more hope this week. It looks like whatever break you've taken has worked for you. It's helped maybe kind of just disconnect from the pain, from the sadness. I feel like as you re-engage on some level, or the memories, the things come up, resurface this week, you're able to kind of look at it in a more detached way. You've created more space between you and what has happened, you and what has like so deeply affected your heart, your mind, your soul. And it does look like you're a little bit in that vibe still. Because I'm getting this energy of you've worked really, really hard to be here. And I feel like at the same time, you're like riding the waves, right? Like, when it's good, just let it be good. And when it feels a little bit more shitty, that's okay too. Just like letting it be shitty, right? It looks like, I feel like in this process, like, to me, and we're in Cancer season. Cancer energy really allows us to support, to nurture, to love on ourselves. And I feel like that's a huge value right now. Venus is going to be in conjunction with Uranus, which helps us find creative solutions, especially to relationships, especially to love, and not just love with another, but love with self-love, self-care. And then Venus is going to enter into Gemini. So it's this really nice energy of like, we can finally take some steps to change how we're doing things, right? Like, what is being highlighted right now in the collective, in the astrology, is making sure that we're taking a different approach, that we're seeing where change is needed and making those changes accordingly, because it's about manifesting relationships, dynamics that are also healing to that trauma. Really interestingly, right? Like, especially if our trauma is rooted with people, dynamics, situations, etc. Part of the way we heal that is through new relationships, right? If the traumatic situation is with a relationship that is not for our highest and best, and we have to walk away from that, there's this value of needing to fill that, needing to allow new people, new situations to come in, so you can open up your heart, so you can remember that not everyone is that way. And there's a little self-protection. It feels like you have kind of been on your own for a minute. Understandably so. It's not easy. It's hard to trust. Not only is it hard to trust other people, but it's like hard to trust yourself when you come out of those experiences, or as you're coming out. Because in those dynamics, it's a lot of questioning. Why did I allow this to happen? Why did, a lot of the whys that we can't answer, that might not have answers, that might never have answers. I'm seeing that, like, as I'm saying that, however, the little caveat, it does feel like some answers are coming in for you, but this is because you are being softer with yourself this week. And I feel like this pregnancy is all about what you're manifesting, right? Like what it's actually going to look like for you when you don't have to feel so weighed down and burdened by this experience, you know, or years of experience, however that fares for you. Yeah, so beautiful, so beautiful. You're vibing as the Empress this week. I love this energy. This is one of my favorite Empress cards. But it really just is this embodiment. I love it. She's allowing these butterflies, all different varieties, excuse me, to be released. And it is the sun. It is her change. It is her transformation. It is the way that she's allowing the trauma to heal her, not only to heal her, but also to empower her, right? To be the fuel. You're not going to get the feedback that you want from people. I'm hearing like, for some of you, it's just acknowledging that conversation, that apology you might never get. Because right now there is a lot of resistance. There's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of their own grief. There's a lot of their own pain. Not that you're responsible for it by any means. But I'm hearing it in this way of like, and this is part of that peace that you're finding, is recognizing what it is. And as you're able to detach, I don't know, you know, like we put so many expectations on how people's situations are going to work out. And I feel like traumatic events, traumatic relationships, it's not so cut and dry, right? Like there's a lot of components that go into it, and healing is not like that. It actually is kind of crazy how patterns show up, how deeply we embed these traumas into our being, and how much we have to fight for that transformation. Whatever you're dealing with is more on that superficial value. It's someone who's very, you know, yeah, they don't like how it goes, but they're not going to say anything to you about it. This is someone who isn't really, you know, there's no plan, there's no intention to reconnect, to talk things over, to apologize. Even though, like, I mean, here's the thing. I think they are disappointed. The situation shows that there's heartbreak, there's grief, but it's, the Five of Cups is this energy where it's like you can't get over yourself, right? Like you're so lost in your pain, in your emotion, that like you're not able to see what else is available to you, what else is there. And like it's enough for you. You know, because you're at this point where like, it's this understanding of I might never get what I want. And so the only rational solution in this time is to be able to kind of pursue my own success. And Eight of Wands is a really beautiful energy. It is the energy of manifestation. It has a lot of swiftness around it, meaning those wands in the traditional deck are coming in fast. I feel like it is really representative of like what you have been manifesting, what you are calling in. This is not a seed, right? This seed has already started to sprout, and you're starting to see evidence of that, right? Let's see who this gold digger is real quick. Three of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and someone has some ulterior motives is what I'm seeing. And oh yeah, as I say it, Seven of Swords, someone has ulterior motives, and you know this, you know this, you know this, you know this. I feel like this is actually like very attached to whatever you're trying to heal from. And this to me feels like someone's trying to either save face or get something out of you. Yeah, gold digger, it can be money, but it can be a lot of different things. Emotional stability, support, maybe you are a giver, etc. It looks like someone who's calling a peace, surrendering. No, they're not surrendering. They're calling for peace. Maybe extending the proverbial olive branch, but it doesn't feel like that so much, right? Like it actually kind of feels like there, like I said, ulterior motives behind it. And the difficulty is when someone's really good at lying and manipulating, it's really hard to sniff that out. But again, I feel like this all goes back to that value of you taking time, energy, space, and as you are giving it time, or as time has been given to you, and probably like a little begrudgingly so, this value of like wishing that, you know, I think it's hard to sit in trauma. It's hard to sit in pain. It's hard to wake up day after day in the monotony, in the cycle, in the depression, the grief, the sadness, etc. And you've definitely put in your dues, right, in that energy. And so, yes, on some level, you are ready. You're ready for it to be done and over with. And there is some things that are wrapping up in the collective. Let's kind of see where this gets us moving forward. Because you're able to see things a little more diplomatically, because you're able to kind of take out some of you've diffused some of the emotion, you know. It doesn't mean that the emotion is not there, but it does mean that like you're not engaging with it, you're not giving it as much power in the way that you used to. And this actually is forcing this cycle to change. It's forcing closure on this, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this fares out, because yeah, I mean, I don't know that something is going to be able to handle this change. And that's kind of what it looks like. And there are some decisions, but here's the thing. They're trying to get something out of you first, right? They're not going to go down swinging, or they're going to go down swinging. They're not going to not go down swinging, sorry. Not to make light, because it's not an easy energy to deal with, right? This is someone who's just like very stubborn, very stuck in their ways, very calculated with how much they give, with how much they're going to allow. And for you, it's made it feel personal. It's made it feel like it's something about you. But a lot of times, actually, let's close this out. I don't think I closed this out last week. A lot of times it's like other people's egos, right? It's their version of the story, whatever they want to say. And again, they have their own version that really kind of softens, justifies whatever bad behavior that they chose. Everyone wants to be the hero in their own story, you know? I am fully unique. Distractions lead me to create a false self, 100%. And I feel like some of those distractions are in what's being said, what has been said, what's been projected on you, and even whatever this person's situation is trying to convince you of, to trying to tell you moving in the future. Only through acceptance of myself can I deliver my full potential in life. Every human being is unique, 100%. And this is just accepting what is. I mean, I think we especially in toxic relationships, we are trying to fulfill whatever need. And it's harder because they become more intertwined, deeply interwoven. And in order to release, in order to let go, we do have to accept ourselves fully and completely, regardless of what's going to be said, because it is going to be brutal, right? This is someone who wants what they want when they want it, and they want it to be their way. And they're going to say, do, and it does feel like really dualistic, like someone who has two faces, right? Like if they're 1 minute puff you up, say everything you want to hear, and then if you're not going to comply, then it goes to the dark side, right? And remember, I'm here to enjoy life. I'm not here to suffer. I live in the present. I ignore attractions. I avoid distractions. This way, my life becomes full of love, peace, and gratitude. So powerful. It's hard to stay in the present as we're healing from trauma, as we're processing through the things that we've experienced and how to show up in a new way for ourselves, for our life, to push through, to move beyond. But just remembering that we're here to enjoy life is so powerful, right? So it's so easy to get sucked into the sadness, the grief, the depression, and it's so hard to come out of it at the same time. I'm not dismissing that at all, you know. But we do it by practicing a little bit each day, accepting ourselves, loving ourselves, really finding a way to maintain peace and enjoy the moments that we're given. I avoid judging myself 100%. Judgments inside my mind are just opinions and distorted views of reality. I look at everything I have learned objectively. I work within myself to become more present and aware. This way, self-judgment will disappear 100%. And I feel like that's a lot of like, not only what this space is giving you, but what this experience is really allowing you to heal for yourself, is that when we judge ourselves, it's way easier to get caught back up into people's toxic behaviors. But when we accept, when we love, when we support, when we stop judging our experiences, that's not only where we find freedom, but that's where we find our strength and our power as well. So thank you so much for your time, energy always. I super appreciate you always. I hope you found messages that resonated here. I hope you enjoyed this reading and just connected with some of what was shared. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.